the young people of Africa, how do they change the continent? And this is the context. Here at ELF Africa, in November, we'll be hosting the inaugural Africa for Africa Youth Summit on the background of the realization that seemingly everyone has a plan for Africa, except Africa. Every year, presidents go to different capitals, 5-6 times a year. And now we are saying we want the young people of Africa to sit in Africa and create for Africa. So what do you think is the challenge for Africa?
For me, it's standing up to be counted. As I mentioned about showing up in the arena, it kind of relates to that in terms of how do you just kind of come in, especially as youth, and just bring out your voice. There's those that beat about, oh, we're expecting our leaders to do it, or we're expecting them to be the one to tell us. But if you look at it, those who've been loud enough to stand up and be counted end up being the people who actually look back and say, you know what, guys, I'm so happy that you actually came on front with, with this idea and an opportunity to actually improve. So for me, that's usually a very, very good entry point. Get mentors. There is always that thing of, oh, it's always been done. You're just new. But I like the bit about I pride myself mentioning that I had an opportunity to work under Nzioka Waita, who's the former chief of staff. For young people, there's that bit of saying, okay, wait a minute, who can I approach and seek their hand in this journey? So showing up, get good mentors, and just believe that this is indeed our time. Somebody actually just mentioned to me that there's a whole focus with the African Union, and the youth agenda will be quite critical. More than any other global organizations. There's a big opportunity we have as the youth of Africa to just come together in unity, and say, oh, guys, it doesn't matter where you're from. We're talking about one African Union. You're part of the African Union, I'm part of the African Union. Let's make it happen.
All right. Now that we're talking about mentorship, what's the downstream of it from your desk downstream?
The executive PA, because you deal a lot with the executive PAs. I mean, some letters need to go out. You're inviting, say, the minister to come and visit the CEO. Need to get a letter out quickly. No spelling mistakes, correctly addressed. So how can I mentor this executive PA to the next chief of staff? That's something we really thought about. I think Strathmore should be coming up with a program around it, this mentoring executive PAs. Is there a certification? That can be a good thing, having a chief of staff certification. What else would that be good? Just the guys who also want to get into government. I mean, it's just because it's always just deemed, oh, they're not everyone works at State House. But I mean, I believe that if you're in the political scene, if you do public policy and advisory, it's a good opportunity.
And you sit on the Public Service Emerging Leaders Fellowship Steering Committee. Any insights from that entire process, how the project has run, cohort 1, cohort 2, we are now looking into cohort 3. What good news do you see? What value, how have you seen this project as, or the initiative itself, adding value to government, to community, to young people?
As I said, I mean, youthful, coming in, a lot of gusto, energy, and you just want to execute on behalf of the president. You just want to get things done. Can you imagine if you have like 10 of those energetic young people to just get it done on behalf of the principal? And we can only do that through the leaders program. So personally, it's the best thing that ever happened to government. The question is now, how do you make sure that they're actually distributed in the right spaces? Because there are many ministries and departments. So what are some of the opportunities or critical departments that has to, you can actually infuse them?
Those young people who, because the program takes those who've been in public service for less than 3 years, and from your experience serving the president, what does one need to thrive in public service?
Humility, candid thinking, forthrightness. You need to be very clear about how you communicate and be very straight at it. I think top of mind. There's big opportunities. There's really big opportunities around it. But for me, it's just, are you also able to I mean, I can list those, but are you also able to be resilient? Resilient is you can work with any adversity.
Yes.
But also, there's a bit about, are you able to be malleable? Are you able to, what can I say? Like, if a situation is presented to you, are you able to be different? Are you able to just adapt to it? You know, that for me is quite critical.
You have had quite an illustrious career.
Thank
as
God.
you said, private sector, media, government, and now empowering executive assistants and chiefs of staff. To the young people who are just getting into the job market, to the young people who are just setting up their enterprises, who are just setting up their community organizations, and they wonder, will they ever one day talk of their careers as Laban talks of his career? What do they need to know?
Humbly speaking, and I thank God that I had the opportunity through friends, networks, and opportunities just to be out there. To any young person, whatever you're doing, it's just show up, man. Show up. The Arena by Roosevelt. Like, you just, everyone has their own skills. Everyone has their own skills. And people are always at the periphery. They're not really sure about what they want. But if you just show up and say, you know what, Sakwa, this is what I can do for you. This is how I can be of value to you. I think those are the best interviews I've done of young people saying, Laban, I see this is your problem.
Yes.
I see this is an opportunity. I'm sorry, this is your problem, and I see this is an opportunity. Within the department or within the network. I said, oh, wait a minute, what do you mean? Instead of just coming, tell me about yourself. Yeah, I can tell you about myself, but are you a problem solver? Are you a critical thinker? Are you a team player?
Yes.
Are you an out-of-the-box person? Such that you can have a conversation and I can say, you know what? This is actually somebody who I can work with. They don't exist, by the way. They're not many out there. So if you get somebody who's actually a problem solver, hire them immediately. But how are you going to be a problem solver if you actually show up? Just be around. There's just too much going on in terms of, like, you know, crises, disasters and all that. So how do you get somebody to actually show up and say, you know what, I think I'm a very good scriptwriter, I'm a very good cameraman, you know, I'm a very good producer. How do I just make sure that I can be in the face and eye of NTV, of KTN, so that they can hire me, or Citizen? So as much as people are firing, yes, but the world is in need of good people.